Hi everybody, welcome to our Kalispell 7K meeting. Thank you all for being here, we really appreciate it. My name is Dana Nelson, I'm a 7K Silver Associate, and today we're going to record this live via Facebook. We want to just go over a couple ground rules. If you guys could turn off your cell phones, that would be wonderful, or silence them. And then the other thing, if we could have you hold the questions till later, we would really appreciate that. So I'm very privileged to be here today, and I'm honored that we actually happen to have one of the founders from 7K Metals here at our hotel. So without further ado, they want to get on the road, but he stopped on in, so I really would like to have Mr. Zach Davis come on up here and give us some momentum.
Thank you. Why don't you give Dana a big round of applause for putting this all together? I've been told I got to stay right here on this spot. This one in the circle. Okay. Hey, so we came up here from vacation. All I got to say is Montana literally is on fire. I mean, not funny, huh? Because you guys are always burning down. But hey, it was awesome. We spent a bunch of time up in Glacier, went and saw a bunch of things, and so we said, you know what? Before we head home, we want to stop in and see everybody. So I'm just going to share maybe just a little bit of the vision of 7K Metals. Is that all right with you guys this morning?
Absolutely.
Yes.
If I just share some thoughts and some of the vision that we have as founders of the company and owners, where we're going, what we're doing, what's happening in the company, and then we got to get on the road and get back to Idaho Falls. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you, I was thinking about this last night. So how many of you are here Thursday night? Okay, so you heard me talk a little bit about fear, right? So for those of you who weren't, fear is the only thing standing between you and what you want, right? I'll just summarize. That's it. Like if you think about anything you want in life, okay, 20 years ago when you said, this is what I want to do for a living, you think about all the little decisions that you've made in your life, they all come down to one thing, and it's fear, right? It's what stopped you from making the decision to do what you wanted to do. So there's two motivators. So if I give you any real training on how you can help people get what they want in life, it's this. There's only two things that motivate people: pain and pleasure. You guys have heard me talk about the dog on the porch?
Absolutely.
Okay, the old dog was sitting on the porch, he was howling and howling and howling, and the neighbor walked up and said, what's up with the dog? Why is he howling? He's like, the guy that owns the dog is like, well, he's sitting on a nail. And the neighbor goes, well, why doesn't he get off the nail? And he goes, I don't know, I guess it doesn't hurt bad enough. So here's what you'll find. You'll find people all across the country, as you're visiting with people, you'll find people that have pain or they have things that they want, pleasure, right? But pain is always the biggest motivator. So here at 7K Metals, what we really did when we started this company is we wanted to alleviate the pain. That's why we started it. In the industry, here's what we saw. We saw very successful people who would make a lot of money. And then there would be these vast oceans of people in these auditoriums who had never made any money in network marketing. Okay, how many of you know someone like that? Maybe you're sitting with them. So you're looking up at the guy on stage and you're like, yeah, good for you, right? You're driving a Maserati, a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, you got $1 million home. But what about me, right? I'm just paying my dues every single month, buying my product, and you're the one making all the money. Now, that's not to take personal responsibility away from anybody. Like, anybody can do this, but the system is sort of rigged so that one person makes a ton of money and then everybody else pays for it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So when Richard approached me about this company, what I saw a way where we could help the non-professional networker be able to make an above average income. And how many of you agree that we're doing that? I'm just curious. Raise your hand if you have made one of those sweet $500 commission checks. Okay, most of the room has made one of those checks. Okay, that is more money than like 85% of this industry makes in a year. Okay, do you guys understand that? So 85% of this industry in a year doesn't make $500. You can do it in a week with 7K Metals. So that's why we started the company. And that's what we want you to share with people, right? That we're different. That it's a different kind of company. It's a different kind of culture. It isn't about all the lavish things and the $1 million homes. Now, if you want that, go get it, right? Go get it. I'm not saying those things are bad. What I'm saying is that's not the reason we started the company, so that one person could have it. So here's what you'll find in your own life. I don't want you to think about your life, and your life isn't much different than anybody else's. Okay? We always kind of want to say, yeah, but my situation's different, or yeah, but my situation's harder. It's really not, right? It's all just stuff. Everybody's going through it. So in fact, we were talking about, so yesterday, I broke 3 studs on my pickup. So I had to go in and get the lug nuts fixed and the studs before we could take off for camp home, right? So we were sitting there and I noticed my wife didn't take any pictures. I'm like, that's interesting. So that's not gonna go on Facebook, right? Or that's not gonna go in Instagram, or that's not gonna go into memory, okay? Now maybe she did, but I didn't see her. But isn't it interesting that if you look on Facebook and you look on Instagram and you look at these other social media platforms, all you ever see is the roses. You never see the thorns. Okay, stopping in there was a thorn. It was a pain in the butt to stop in there and fix the truck so that we could go hook onto the camper and pull it home. So even a week's vacation has its bumps on the road, right? But nobody talks about that. Nobody shares that out on social media. So we get this perception that everybody's life is perfect and we need our life to be just like their life. But guess what? I'm telling you, everybody is sitting on a nail. Everybody is sitting on a nail of some sort. Okay, they're sitting on a nail and they have something else they want. So there's 2 things that will motivate them. The pain of getting away from whatever it is, their circumstance in life that they don't like, or the pleasure of moving towards something they do like, and pain is always the bigger motivator. So as you're talking to people, what you need to be listening for is, what's the pain? Right? What do they have in life that they don't like? What's not going well? Is it relationships? Is it money? Is it people at the office or at work? Okay, what is it that's not going well? And the next question you need to be thinking about is, do you have a solution for that? I'm going to submit there's almost no problem that you don't have a solution for. If it's relationships, how many of you have created new relationships in this company that you'll treasure forever? Okay, good. So if people have relationship issues, we can help with that, right? If people want to be part of something bigger than themselves and give back, we can help with that. If people want to make more money, we can help with that. If people want more time freedom, we can help with that. If people want to put money away in precious metals so they have a asset long term, we can help with that. So be thinking about what we're doing for you in your life and what you're doing for your life in this company, and what can you do for somebody else. Because when you change the thinking to how can you serve someone instead of how can you make money, you watch what happens in your company. Okay? So with that, I got to get on the road, but speaking of service, I want to introduce a good friend of mine. There's very few people in life that you meet that you could call a brother. And Tony Hubbard is certainly one of those. So Tony Hubbard came all the way up here from Texas to share his time and his talent, his information, his knowledge with you guys, so that you guys can build your businesses, make the money you want to make, and get the dreams that you're looking for. And so Tony is the epitome of a servant leader. He didn't get paid to come up here, right? The company didn't pay him. He came up here on his own dime so that he could serve you, build a business, and help this company grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Which, by the way, I need everyone to do me a favor. I need everyone to be on the call Monday night. Okay? You guys all promise to do that for me? Be on the call Monday night and get all of your team on there, because talking about vision, of which Tony has, we're going to share something with you from corporate that is insane. Okay? Nobody knows about this. It's been like hush hush for months. And Monday night, we're going to unveil it. So make sure you get everybody on your teams there Monday night for that call, because it is going to be awesome.
So
right?
how are we supposed to get any sleep until then?
I don't know. You'll have to figure that out. When you're not sleeping, be talking to somebody about getting on the call. Okay? All right, so I'm going to bring up Tony Hubbard, my friend, one of the top leaders in the company, a silver associate, and a man that I would call my brother. We're gonna hit the road, so we love you guys.
All right, let's give it up for one of the co-founders. The guys, this is Zach Davis said some nice things about me, guys, that always feel good. It really does. But if all that you ever knew about me was what he said, it could be very, very misleading. Because like most of you guys, a little over, almost 2 years ago, I sat in a setting a lot smaller than this. And I was at a critical point in my life. I just needed something to work for me. Can anybody relate to that? Yep. I had tried traditional business, tried networking business. I needed something to work for me. And I took a look at the business we're going to talk about today. And I actually got involved the very same night I took a look at it. Not because I understood everything, but because what the gentleman said that night just made a whole lot of sense. I mean, by a show of hands today, how many does it make sense to buy gold and silver at the best price? Does that make sense to anybody? Right? And does it also make sense that if someone's going to get paid every time gold and silver is purchased, that somebody probably needs to be named you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's all I really grasped almost 2 years ago. I went on to introduce now 95 individuals to this concept, and I have a team now that's several thousand across the nation, and now even international. And I don't share that to impress you, but to impress upon you. If someone like myself that doesn't have a college degree can do this business and earn several thousand on a monthly basis, every last one of you guys here today have the exact same opportunity. Does that make sense to everybody? And so is it okay today if I just share with you guys the same concept that was shared with me nearly 2 years ago? Is that all right with everyone? And if you like what you see, like many of us love what we saw, we're going to welcome you to our family in advance. And is it okay that we make money together? Is that all right with everyone?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what I want you guys to understand. So how's everybody doing today? Everybody doing all right?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what I want you guys to do to kind of loosen up the crowd. I want you to shake the person's hand on the left and right and tell them this. I look good, but you look better.
You look better.
No, you look.
I know some of y'all were saying, that ain't really true, But if you have the wealth strategy brochure, raise your hand if you don't have one of those wealth strategy brochures. This is going to fall right in line with that. One of the best things our company ever did, we have what is called a wealth strategy brochure that kind of explains the message of our company. I want to make sure everyone has that as we go through the presentation today. So raise your hand if you're a guest and you don't have one of those in your hand. All right, so let's make sure we get those to the individuals and we're going to get started. So I want you to be able to follow the suit. Because there might be a test at the end. There just might be, All right. Okay, all right. You just flip over that first page and we're going to get it going. All right. As you can see, the name of our company is called 7K Metals. And here's the thing I want you guys to get this morning. This company was built on the premise we believe everybody should own gold and silver. We just believe that. But there are a few challenges when it comes to that. Because when we began to research the company and began to find out, why everybody should own gold and silver, these were some of the major problems that came up. Here are the major questions. First of all, if I'm going to own it, what should I be buying? Number two, how can I trust where I'm getting it from? Number three, how do I know if I'm getting a good deal? And last but not least, do I have enough discretionary income to even afford it? And when they looked at the four major questions that people ask about when it comes to gold and silver, they created this company, 7K Metals, in order to answer those questions and to become a one-stop shop. All right, if you look at the signature of the individuals on this page, the four gentlemen that founded the company, you got a chance to meet one of those. Mr. Zach Day, one of the most talented individuals, one of the best trainers and teachers you're ever going to meet on the planet, a serial entrepreneur. And we also have Mr. Richard Hanson. Many of you guys have met him. He was the guy that carried around the dream for 36 years. About gold and silver in this arena of network marketing. Mr. Josh Anderson, and of course, Mr. Roger Ball, who's the guy that's created billion-dollar companies in this arena. And then our famous Sam Cook, who's the CEO of our company. Now, these four gentlemen got together to solve two major problems in the network marketing space. Problem number one, how can we provide a product everyone would want or need at a great price? And then problem number two, how can we realistically create a compensation plan where the masses could actually have success? Not just a handful, but the masses could actually have success, because that's why this arena was created over 70 plus years ago. And it led them to create the company called 7K Metals, and we believe in the philosophy, we believe in you. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to get this morning. If you don't get anything else, I want you to understand the concept about what we do. We sell memberships, like a Sam's, a Costco, or an Amazon Prime, and with membership comes privileges. Raise your hand if you have a membership to either one of those, Sam's, Costco, Amazon Prime, okay? All right, Ms. D, which one do you have a membership to?
Costco.
Costco, all right. Now, actually, we went there when we first got here on the other day, okay? And why do you have that membership, if you don't mind asking?
So I can get things at better price.
Okay. She said, that's like a no-brainer, I get that membership, I can get it at, now people pay $60 to $120 a year for that membership, and they believe, and they know that if I come in there just a few times a year, just on purchasing alone, I'm going to save the price of that membership many times over. Now, who has a membership to Amazon Prime? All right, Mr. P. Bar, why do you have that membership?
Actually, it's several reasons. One, they have free shipping on stuff you buy on Amazon.
Free, I mean, I like free.
Yeah, free is great.
Okay.
You get things like Audible is attached to that, so you can get books through it. And it's just a lot of other things that come with the membership.
Nice.
Are
All right.
cheaper.
So here's the thing. If you understand the concept of Sam's Club, Costco, and Amazon Prime, we are the Sam's Club, we are the Costco, and we are the Amazon Prime when it comes to gold and silver. So if you don't get anything else today, that's our business model in a nutshell. We sell a membership, and with membership definitely comes privileges. All right? And people say, because one of the biggest privileges, one of the biggest benefits of having a membership with our company, when it comes to gold and silver, if you're a member, you're going to get it at the absolute best price when it comes to bullion. And I want to just pass around some of our product right here. Our product is real money. This is gold and silver. We're going to pass this around. I want you guys to see, and I want you to look at the response of everybody once they have this in their hand. This is just a sample of what we do. We're going to pass this around, DJ Lopez. We're going to need this back, okay?
Okay.
Okay. But this is our product, and this, if you're a member of our company, you get a chance to get this at the best price. When people say, well, how do you do that? How in the world do you allow everyday people to get gold and silver at the best price? I'm going to explain to you the old current model, and I'm going to show you what we were able to do with 7K metals. If you look at the old model, here's how it works. When gold and silver is mined from the earth, once it's delivered to the mint and they turn it into coinage, the mint sells it, and I found out the other day, there are 13 authorized dealers who are licensed and contracted to buy millions of dollars every month directly from the mint. Nobody gets it at a lower price than these guys. So if you're going to get it at the lowest price, you're going to buy it from one of these 13. But here's the challenge with that. In order to buy from those guys, you typically have to buy at least $10,000 a month. That wipes out 99% of the population. All right? But from these 13, they only sell it to you if you're a large wholesaler. Wholesalers sell to the brokers, brokers to the retailers, and the retailers are the ones that would typically sell to you and I. So in the old model, by the time the average person gets a chance to buy gold and silver, it's been marked up numerous times. And it's priced out of most of our budget. But at 7K metals, here's what they were able to do. Because now we have the buying power of thousands of individuals, they simply partnered up with 4 of the largest suppliers on the planet, and then they did something phenomenal and passed on that savings to you with zero markup. You heard me correctly. If you're a member of 7K metals, when it comes to buying gold and silver bullion, like that bar y'all passing around, I got my own, but that bar y'all passing around, you pay the same price the company pays. Because all we simply did, we became the wholesaler, we became the broker, we became the dealer, and we passed on the savings without marking up 1 penny. So if you're a member of 7K metals, you pay the same rate the company pays. And because there are no minimums and maximums, it means this. If I can only afford $50 a month, I'm paying the same price as the guy that's spending $10,000. For that reason, in our company now, we have thousands of people that now own physical gold and silver. The majority of them had never purchased it before. We have quickly gained a reputation as the Sam's Club of the gold and silver business. Now, to really explain this concept, we brought on a little video that's kind of really wrap everything up and put it together. And last I checked, this video has about 90 minutes worth of information. And I don't know how long they told you that it was going to last this month. I think we're going to get some popcorn in a little later. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
But they condensed this video to just 9 minutes and some change. Is that all right? My man said, did he say 90 minutes? It's 9 minutes and some change. But let me ask you guys a question. What if this video was actually 90 minutes long? And after watching it, neither you nor anybody in your family would ever have to worry about owning gold and silver again. Raise your hand and you would take it home and take a look at it. Let's be honest. How many of y'all break out a little over red box and check it out, right? It's 9 minutes and some change. Afterwards, I'm going to come right back up and I'm going to perform a magic trick. I'm going to turn into Tom Cruise and I'm going to show you the money. Is that all right with everybody? All right, let's look at the video and then we'll come right back up after that, okay?
The sun will rise tomorrow, as it has 1,000,000 times before. Commuters will wake up and travel to their offices to begin the day's work. Farmers will tend to their crops, and construction workers will build new infrastructure. But will the world they live in still be the same? In 2008, the world was given a wake-up call. The biggest financial crash in human history was delayed by the same poor decisions that brought it about in the first place. What that massive bailout bought us was not a solution, but merely time. Time for the people responsible to wring the last few dollars out of a dying system. But also, for those able to see the cliff edge approaching, time to protect themselves and their families from the imminent plunge. And in the end, that time may prove to be the most valuable commodity of all.
There are these brief moments in history where the safe haven asset for the last 5,000 years simultaneously becomes the asset class that has the greatest single potential gains in purchasing power. We're in one of these cycles right now where money is the best investment. Get out of currency, buy money, and you're probably going to be able to buy a whole lot more stuff later. But the best thing that people can do of all is really to take on their own responsibility for getting financially educated. This is the most important thing. Don't let the banks and the brokerage houses and other people guide all of your decisions. Find out what's going on for yourself. Empower yourself.
At Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, delegates from 44 allied and associate countries arrived for the opening of the United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference.
Our story begins in 1944. With World War II coming to an end, the Allied nations met at Bretton Woods, New Hampshire to create a new financial system which would stabilize the world once the war ended. With America poised to enter a golden age of prosperity, the US dollar was chosen as the world's reserve currency.
The Bretton Woods system was created after the Second World War at the Bretton Woods Conference in New Hampshire. And rather than using gold as a means of exchange between countries, as was the case under the old gold standard, the dollar was going to be used. The dollar was chosen because back then it was as good as gold.
Under this new system, countries agreed to fix their currencies to the US dollar, and the US dollar would be tied to gold at a price of $35 per ounce. This meant that countries around the world could trade their currencies for US dollars, which they could then exchange for gold. This created a system where all currencies were essentially backed by gold. To avoid the logistics of shipping physical gold across the world, when countries did exchange their currencies for gold, it was usually stored safely in the US.
Under the Bretton Woods system, you could exchange your currency or your dollars for gold. Now, it only applied to foreign countries and central banks. And we began to run budget deficits. We were running the Great Society program under Lyndon Johnson. We were fighting a war in Vietnam. And all of a sudden, we were running these deficits, and countries were changing their dollars. And they said they wanted gold. And it began with the French, and then it started to spread.
With all the new spending programs in the United States, other countries became concerned that the US was spending more money than it had gold reserves. They started exchanging their dollars for gold and demanded physical delivery, as they felt that there were more dollars being printed than the gold that backed it. To prevent this outflow of gold from American vaults, President Nixon called for an emergency suspension of the gold convertibility system.
I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve asset.
All of the problems that we see today in the monetary system are a direct result of the decision made in August 15th, 1971, to abandon a fixed link back to gold. What gold did is it provided discipline on governments, provided discipline on government spending.
By removing the link between gold and the US dollar, President Nixon created a system where all currencies were backed by nothing. This is what is known as a fiat currency.
Fiat currency is currency that's backed by nothing except government promises. The word fiat is a Latin word, and it basically means currency that's circulating by force. If people have confidence in that currency, and if there's enough government force, that will enable the currency to circulate for a period of time until people lose confidence in the currency.
There is no nation on this planet that currently uses money. We all use currency. There will come a day when everybody knows the difference.
Money is a medium of exchange, and the way it has evolved is that it's always something of intrinsic value until the modern age, when the politicians say, well, we don't need anything of intrinsic value anymore. All we need is political decree. We can say this is money, this piece of paper is money. Now money has a new characteristic. But underneath it all, there's the same concept in place that nobody ever seems to challenge, and that is that governments have a right to declare something of no value to be money, and you must accept it. That's really the problem, and it's still the problem today. It's destroying the economies of the world.
Hyperinflation may be one of several scenarios facing the world today. But history has shown us that whenever a nation tried to run its economy using an artificial fiat system, the end result is always the same: disaster.
There is a proven 100% failure rate. There is no exception to this. Fiat currencies always fail. And then 40 years ago, we tried this grand experiment where all the world's currencies became fiat at the same time, when we ended the Bretton Woods system.
The world is going to have to extricate itself from this monetary system based on the dollar, because if you want to back your currency, you have to back it with something. You can't back it with nothing. You always think of that old Superman movie where the first one where Lois Lane, she falls off the top of the building and Superman catches her. And he says, I got you, don't worry, I got you. And she says, well, you got me, who's got you? Well, that's the dollar. Who's got the dollar? It's not Superman. The dollar can't fly on its own. The dollar used to be backed by gold. It was gold that had the dollar. It's like everybody has tethered their ships to the Titanic of currencies. And so we're all going to go down.
The government wants to sell you paper, so I would say it's the government and Wall Street.
Gold in the hands of people is the way you control government. Governments cannot create money out of thin air. It's gold. They can only create paper out of thin air. And if they can create paper out of thin air, they can use that paper to wage wars, or they can use that paper as a political contrivance to enrich their friends. And as a consequence, governments have been fighting gold all century long.
It's not that the price of gold is going up, it's that the value of the dollar is going down. The price remains constant in terms of human effort and purchasing power. An ounce of gold today will buy the same thing it bought 2,000 years ago. An ounce of gold today is approximately, takes so much human effort to get out and refine the same human effort that it took to do certain things 2,000 years ago. The human effort equation that maintains stability. How much effort does it take?
Gold is financial insurance. And the thing about it is you own it because you want to be protected. And, you just have to have it if you want to have or sleep at night, because there's nothing else. If some catastrophic event happens, and we've seen them, how are you going to be protected?
All right, everyone like the video there? Yeah. Outstanding there. Well, listen. All right, let's just go ahead and get right to it. Now, what that video basically explained why the dollar won't do what it used to do, okay? Raise your hand today if you believe $100 today won't buy what $100 would just 5 years ago. What about your last year, okay? See, the greatest enemy of accumulation is a little word called inflation. And here's what happens. How a lot of people don't realize what's taking place. They just do it a little bit at a time. They know if they did it in 1 day's time, people would definitely go into panic mode. If you walk into the grocery store one day and Captain Crunch is $3.50, and you go in there the next day it's $10, how many know you're going to have to see a manager or something, huh? That's a problem, right? They just do it a little bit at a time. And because you can see there's several events that took place, what they've explained on the video, that caused the dollar to do what it is. In 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard. See, up until that time, they could only physically print what they could back up with the Fort Knoxes of the world. Now you hear $5 words like quantitative easing. All that means they have a license now to print money out of the thin air. And it's just like a glass of tea. The more water you pour into it, the more diluted it comes, and the less it tastes like tea. All right? That's how the dollar. The more money they print, the less value your dollar has. That makes sense to everybody. All right? So here's the thing. All right? To really bring home that point, I want you to see what happens if you just purchase gold and silver and as opposed to fiat currency, what we call the dollar. All right? In 1965, and looking around the room, there were a few of us that were around back then. I'm not going to ask anybody to raise their hand, okay? But in 1965, the $1 bill and the 1 ounce silver coin, they were worth the exact same thing, okay? Matter of fact, back then, for those of us that were around back then, in 1965, the dollar had silver certificate on it, which means that because they were worth the same thing, I could walk into a bank, I could give them one of these, and they would give me one of these because they were worth the same thing. Everybody understand that? And for that reason, in 1965, if I walked into a Ford dealership, if I had 2,500 of these or 2,500 of these, I could walk out with a brand new Mustang. How many think that's a pretty good deal, right? All right, now fast forward to the day. If I walked into a Ford dealership and all I had was 2,500 of these, raise your hand, you think I might walk out with some Rams or something, huh? But did you not know, if I had 2,500 of these and I walked into a Ford dealership, I could walk out with 2 brand new Mustangs. How many like the way that sounds? Yeah. All right, and here's another beautiful thing. Let's just say in 1965, you didn't like banks enough back then, and all you did was just put, let's just say you put 30,000 of these or 30,000 of these into a safe, and you didn't do anything else. You put it underneath the pillow or the mattress, whatever. It'll be a little lumpy on the mattress, but you just did that, okay? And you put 30,000 of both of these into a safe out in the backyard, whatever the case may be. Fast forward to the day, if you had 30,000 of these, you could do a little something. But 30,000 of these would be worth close to $600,000. How many like the way that sounds? That's one of the major reasons why I believe everybody should own gold and silver. Another example of that, wealth accumulation. I think it goes without saying. If you look at the most successful people on the planet, if you look at their portfolio, they're going to have a certain part of it in what we call hard assets. Something you can touch, something you can feel. They believe that if you don't own it, if you can't put it in your hand, you don't own it. Everybody understand that? All right? And if you look at the most successful people on the planet, a certain part of their portfolio would have physical assets. And the 2 most common ones is either real estate or precious metals. All right? Now, raise your hand if you're in the real estate arena. Okay, we have several that's here today. All right? So let's just talk about that. All right? In the real estate arena, let's just say you're in real estate, and if I bought a piece of property for $100,000 and I sold it for $200,000, there's a little thing called $100,000 worth of capital gain. Yes or no? Yes. All right. And because of more times than not, that is subject to what we call a capital gain tax. That means that although I made $100,000 worth of profit, Uncle Sam gonna get a little of that. Everybody understand that? Yeah. All right. How would you like to be able to buy something for $100,000, sell it for $200,000? And keep all your money? Raise your hand, you like keeping all your money. Yes. All right? Now, did you not know there are certain metals that you purchase that is reportable, and there are certain metals that are not reportable? All right? So that means, these metals that you don't see on here, because the laws were put in place in the late 1970s, early 1980s, if you purchase these on a certain quantity, it has to be reported no matter where you buy it from. But if you purchase these metals, and again, that's one of the benefits of having a membership with our company, because we educate you on that, on the buyer certification and the collector certification. We put that on there so you know that if I bought $100,000 worth of these, if I sold it, I get a chance to keep all my money. Again, raise your hand if you like to keep all your money. All right? Now, here's what I want you to understand. That's just one of the benefits of having a membership with our company. Raise your hand if you like benefits. Yes. All right? How many are not going to raise your hand no matter what I say? You're just a non-hand raiser, they ain't going to get me. Okay. Here's the thing. Everybody loves benefits. One of the beautiful things about traveling so much, I get a chance to stay in nice hotels and stuff, and when I get a chance to check out, they have those little bitty bottles and stuff that just benefits for staying there. I mean, I like them little shampoos. I'm bald headed, but I still get them little shampoos. I mean, I don't understand that. That's just a benefit of having a membership with our company. And there are several benefits. If you're a member of our company, not only do we educate you on how to buy gold and silver at the best price, we let you know, based upon what you're trying to accomplish, how to get that done for your family. All right? And in addition to that, we also have what is called collectible coins. Now, when it comes to bullion, when it comes to the bars, when it comes to coins that are not graded, if you're a member of our company, you're going to get a chance to get that at the best price. But we also have what is known as a collectible coin or a numismatic coin, and we get a chance to show you how to collect those every single month because we don't want anybody else to ever make another $1 million mistake. How many don't want to make a dollar mistake? Well, the beautiful thing about our company, if you've been around since 1986, and I think that covers everybody in the room, you made at least $1 million mistake, and we provide collectible coins because we don't want anybody to ever again make what is called a $1 million mistake. Now, who else has an MS-70 Silver Eagle? Do we have one on the table? I got one up here. Okay, all right. Okay, all right, let's do that. I stepped out of a little space there. I'm sorry, man. I stepped out. They got me boxed in right now. I want to give you a quick lesson today on what we call bullion coin and collectible numismatic museum quality coin. All right, because we get a chance to purchase these coins every single month, and the company has a variety of those. Okay, and now, what this is called is how a numismatic coin. Here's the difference in between the two. In 1949, that was a numismatist, and that's a fancy name, a fancy title for people that grade coin or currency. And they created a scale called a Sheldon scale back in 1949 by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Sheldon. All right, and they put that in place to grade coins or currency to show you what the difference between one and the other. Now that scale goes from 1 to 70. 1 is unrecognizable, something you ran over with a car in the parking lot. 70 is absolutely perfect. That means there are no flaws in that coin. They look at it under 5 times magnification. If there are no flaws, they give it the rating of a 70. All right. Now, what makes this coin here a lot more valuable than this coin here is that 2 things. Less than 5% of all the coins ever made will have a 70 rating. And if the coin is graded by one of the 2 top third-party grading companies in the entire world, and those are the only ones we use, by the way, PCGS or NGC, this is NGC, then that coin has the highest value versus the bullion counterpart. Matter of fact, Dr. Sheldon said if a coin has a rating of a 70, that means it can be worth as much as 70 times the same coin that is not in that condition. That makes sense to everybody. All right, well, in 1986, that's when they started making the 1-ounce silver coin for America. All right, the Silver Eagle, the most popular 1-ounce silver coin in the world. In 1986, they started making this coin. In 1986, silver was worth $5 an ounce. To have a coin, if you shipped it out and had it graded and it came back in the condition, they charged another $25. So in 1986, if you'd have bought one of these coins, had it graded by one of these companies, and it came back at 70, you would have had less than $50 in that coin. Well, that coin today, the 1986 version of this coin, is worth $700. Okay? The 2012 coin is worth $150. The 1996, $6,000. And the 1999 is worth as much as $19,000. Raise your hand if you wish you to just bought one of them. You know, not like this one. Okay. All right. Now here's where the $1 million mistake came in. If you'd have just bought one of these a month for yourself or for kids or grandkids every single month from 1986 up until now, you would have had less than $35,000 in those coins. Those coins combined today are worth $1.4 million. That's why we believe not only should you own bullion, you should have some collectible coins. And here's why we provide this. If history just repeats itself, how many think 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that's going to be a lot of us going to be smiling with some collectible coins? All right, now here's what I want you to understand. We provide those coins of the month, every single month, and for those of you who like variety, we believe variety is the spice of life. We also have different coins that you can spend a little bit more for and collect those. They have, a few months ago, the Black Panther coin. You can see we have the Dragon and the Phoenix, the Spider-Man coin. How many are into Marvel? You know, y'all like them little characters, you know, from a little kid, okay, all right. This month, I think it's the Thor coin this month.
Yeah.
Okay, so every single month that changes, you can chance to buy one collectible coin every single month. And for those of you who have the affinity for gold, I was talking to Mr. Calvert outside, he likes gold and stuff. You can buy a gold collectible coin every single month. Again, and just put it on the side, because historically, I mean, we don't have a forecast, but historically, after 5 to 7 years, they're worth what you paid for it, if not many times more. That makes sense to everybody, all right? And last but not least, if you're a membership of our company, I mean, we educate you. So if I'm a member, most people don't understand gold and silver. Matter of fact, when it comes to collecting gold and silver, they say 90% of Americans collect something. I'm going to be honest with you guys this morning. When my household, we grew up, we collected two things. We collected stamps, and we were real big on them aluminum cans. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? No, ain't like you didn't have a garage full of those now. Okay. But now, if you're a member of this company, you get a chance to collect gold and silver coins every single month. I mean, and we have competitive prices on those. And we educate you. Another benefit, there was a buyer certification that just comes as a benefit of having a membership. We educate you on that part. And also the icing on the cake, we also add, if you have a membership or you buy the collectible coin, that's what is called a 7K Metals travel discount card that comes with the membership or the collectible coin. Who has one of those cards? Okay, we have a couple of them right there. DJ Lopez, you just pulling everything out your pocket. Okay. All right, okay. Another benefit of having a membership with our company is that when you get the membership and when you buy a collectible coin every month, they're going to give you either $125 or $250 travel discount card. Now, here's what I want you to understand. They gave us these cards about 9 months ago. And what these cards allow us to do, we believe in giving you a lifestyle that's powered by gold and silver. If you're going to travel, how many know it's a beautiful thing if you can get it at a discount? Oh, yeah. All right? Well, they gave us this card. This card gives you as much as a 50% discount over the major travel sites like Travelocity and Priceline on hotels, rental cars, and even dream vacation giveaways. I mean, one of our business partners in Austin, Texas, her and her husband, a little over a month ago, they did a 2-week vacation. Getting hotels and rental cars, they saved over $1,000 by utilizing these cards. I personally saved over $850 by utilizing these cards, and I want to show you the integrity of our company. When they added these cards to our mix about 9 months ago, they didn't add any additional cost to your member. And for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, our company 7K Metals is attracting the best of the best. How many like when they throw stuff in and they don't even charge you for it? That's a beautiful thing, right? All right? And so now let's talk about how we get paid with our company. Everything I've talked about up to this point, this shows you the many benefits. If you're a member of our company, how you can get gold and silver at the best price. We will educate you on buyer certification, collector certification. There's all kind of cards that are coming along with it. Now we're going to start talking about how we make money in our business. And is it all right we talk about money right now? Is that all right with everyone? Yeah. Because every time when I talk about money in different settings, that's most people like myself. I grew up with a lot of negative stuff in my household when it comes to money. I mean, how many of y'all heard negative stuff about money growing up? What's some of the negative stuff you guys heard about money? What did you hear about money? You can't say it in public?
It's like my family is just kind of looks at things where you have to traditionally have a job and you have to go to college and all that about it, or else it's a scam. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay, Pete, what did you hear?
You'll never be able to afford that.
Okay, you may not be able to afford that. Okay, how many of y'all heard that growing up?
Yeah, money is the root of all evil.
Money is the root of all evil. Okay, the love it. Okay, we heard that part. Who heard that money nobody love? Last I checked, broke don't get it done either, right? Let's be honest today. What determines the quality of lifestyle we live? How much wealth?
Money.
What determines whether or not the children go to a public or a private school? How much wealth?
Money.
What determines whether or not you drive up in a coupe or a hoopty? How much wealth? So although it ain't everything, it's right up there with oxygen. We need it in this life. Now here's what I want you to understand. One of my mentors taught me early on in network marketing, money is simply a magnifier that's going to make you better at whatever kind of person you already are. Some people say money changed them now. All money did was that give them a platform that they didn't have before they got money, okay? They were already crazy. That makes sense to everybody. But money will magnify whatever kind of person you already are. If you're a good person, money going to allow you to be more philanthropic. You can be a blessing to many, many causes. If you're a bad person, I'm going to be honest with you today, money probably going to help you be a demon. Does that make sense to everybody? So let's just talk about the money aspect on why a lot of people are attracted to our company, not only here in the United States, but now even internationally as well. All right, we have two types of membership in our company. We have what is called a $250 membership that allows you to buy the gold and silver at the absolute best price. What comes with that membership, they give you a $250 travel discount card that gives you up to the 50% discount. So it's almost like a wash within itself. Also, if you decide to build a team and start making money, you can do that because you have that membership. And then for those of you that really want to be a serious player in our company, we have a $499 premium membership, and that comes with a couple of $100 worth of silver coins on top of it, so you have inventory right off the bat. In addition to that, you have $500 worth of the travel discount cards, and you can start building a business as well. Now let's talk about how we make money. Now they created a compensation plan. You heard Mr. Zach Davis talk about we created a company so that everyday people can now earn money, and many of them had never earned money before. The majority of people in this room today that are in the business have already earned at least one commission check. Now here's how it works. They created a compensation plan, which the networking world calls a binary, and a binary simply means two. Everybody say two. Two. Now, why is that so important? If you study the history of network marketing, a home-based business, statistics have proved. I don't care what the name of your company over the last 70 years. I don't care what product you market, and I don't care what the service you market. The average person in that company, for the lifetime of that company, will only sponsor 2.3 individuals. So it makes sense to create a compensation plan that even if a person considered average, they now can earn above average income. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. All right, now here's how it works. This is the simplest one you're ever going to see. Is this the point in the middle?
I don't think it works.
Okay, okay. What's your point? Okay. I'm going to do old-fashioned right here. I'm going to leave a little circle. Binary simply means once you bring on two people, you can now make money in our business. You bring on one person on the left side, one on the right side, you're now qualified to earn income. Now, each membership sale for $250 is 100 points. Each membership sale for $499 is 150 points. Here's how it works. Every collectible coin purchased, whether it's a silver or a gold one, it carries 20 points, and they've added a state-of-the-art line of jewelry, from watches to necklaces to rings. Every piece of jewelry also purchased, whether by you or your team, it also carries 20 points. Here's how it works. Once you bring on the first two people, you start accumulating points. And whenever 500 points is accumulated on the left team and 500 points on your right team by any combination, by memberships or coins, it doesn't matter, our company is going to pay you what we call a whopping step check of $500. Raise your hand if you would cash that check. All right? Here's the beautiful thing about it. Once you bring on two people, you can now make $500 every single week if you're building a business. That's what we call our associate level in the company. I mean, for all the individuals that are in the room, your highest rank achieved right now, up to this point, is associate. I want you to stand up at this time. I want you to see some of the individuals that are already making it happen in our company. Let's give it up for all the associates in our company. Before you can see it, I want you to tell us your name, your background, and where you see yourself going. Let's start over with the man behind the mic.
Yeah. So, name's Harvey Lake, and I'm from Dillon. I'm actually signed up just after the company got going. I'm moving slow, slow and steady, and helping people out and trying to get them to come along and see the vision too.
Let's give it up, Mr. Harvey Lake.
Dee Boyce from Kalispell, Montana, and I see it as a way to help a lot of people get the things they need to make life better.
All right, let's give it up to Harry.
And I'm Kari Martell from Libby, Montana, and 7K has just done phenomenal things for our entire community. I myself have made $11,000 this year. Everybody, or most people in our downline in Libby have also made money, and it's really helped our whole area. It's been a godsend to us.
Let's give it up for Kari.
I'm here in Kalispell, and yeah, I think I really just want to help people have the lifestyles that they deserve, and I don't want to work for anybody else ever again.
Shirley Hagel and my husband John, we signed up under Pastor Sharon Bolts from Billings, who has signed up under Colleen, and when she first called me and said, "Boy, have I got a deal for you," it's like, I don't want any more of your deals. I've dealt with her. And I love the lady to pieces. She's a wonderful person. But I thought, no, I'm not going to get involved in anything else. I'm retired. I want to be retired. Well, she said, pray about it. She should have never said that, because I knew right away that God was going to say yes to it. So we signed up. We have been helping a lot of people. We were grandfathered in at Hubbard, but we chose to, when they changed that, we went back to associate, and we have chosen to help other people before we move up, so that's why we're still associates. But we have made some step checks. We've gotten my niece involved and other people, and it's all about helping people.
Yes.
Let's give it up for the step. All right. Now, the next level you can attain in our company, and for those of you that have reached that particular rank, the highest rank you achieve right now is what is called copper, and you simply get ranked up by just helping a couple more people come on board and helping them have success. And one of the things I want you to get on this compensation plan, ladies and gentlemen, they so designed it, and it goes right in line with one of my early mentors in network marketing, Mr. Zig Ziglar, who said you can have everything you want out of life if you simply help enough other people get what they want out of life. And the only way you reach the pinnacle of the compensation plan, you have to help the people you bring on board also have success. All right, so the next level is what is called a copper, and these individuals can earn up to $1,000 on a weekly basis. For those of you, your highest rank achieved to this point is a copper. I want you to stand up at this time. Let's give it up for all the coppers in the room. Mr. Hart. All right. You want to give us your name and background and where you see yourself going?
Sure. My name's David Hart from Kalispell, and my background, I'm actually in the precious metals business, full-time in my day job. So this is a side gig that I do, but I believe in it because the value is there. And it is about helping people, and it's fun to see this company grow, and I want to be a part of it as it continues.
Let's give it up, Mr. David Hart. That's a knowledgeable guy right there. All right. Our next level that you can rank up to is what is called a bronze associate. And as a bronze associate, again, you helped at least 6 people come on board, and you're helping them have success as well. As a bronze, you can earn up to $2,000 on a weekly basis. For those individuals, your highest rank achieved up to this point is a bronze. I want you to stand up at this time, and let's give it up for all the bronze that are in the room. All right, let's start with this young man right here.
Well, thank you. I'm Pete Barr from Enterprise, Alabama. And when I came into this business, I was Black Hawk helicopter pilot. I still am. I love doing that. It's a great job. I'm training young men and women. But what I want to do is I want to help my sister, and I want to help my daughter in Panama. If she makes 1 step check a month, she's going to double her income.
Wow.
So that's really what I want to do, and help my sister as well. But I see myself doing that, ranking them up, and as they rank up, it's just going to help me. So. And then I'm
calling the Pete Barr the superstar. Let's give it up for him. All right.
I'm Dawn Marie, and I'm in the alternative therapies industry, and everything that everyone said is perfect, and it's all about helping people. And one thing that's icing on the cake is the leadership as well, because it's teaching us all to be entrepreneurs and to help others to become leaders, and I think that's amazing. And so, and Mr. Tony Hubbard is the best one ever.
This next level, once you reach this particular rank, and right now there are 6 individuals that have reached that particular rank in the company, and we actually have 3 of those that are here today. And at this level here, because you're helping so many people have success, you start having some options. How many of you like options? I mean, at this level as a silver, you can earn up to $3,500 a week. You can opt to go to work, or you can opt not to go to work. Okay? That's just a beautiful thing. But these two young ladies I want you to hear from, because they're some of the most successful people in our entire company. They're earning income every single week. And at this level here, that puts them in a whole nother category when it comes to income in this arena that we're marketing. But I want them to come up to the front of the room. Two of the top producing silver associates in our company, Ms. Colleen Lee and Mr. Don Nelson. Let's give it up for her.
In the circle. Get in the circle.
Gotta get in the circle.
I just saw a square.
Yes, you guys are all
trainable. We are. Okay, what are we supposed to do?
Give your name, background, where you see yourself going.
I'm Colleen Lee from Billings, Montana, and when I was shown this opportunity, Diane Graber actually brought me in, and she's another, I would say, I call them guru network marketers, because they know how to do network marketing. And so I tried it a couple times and failed miserably and said, no, that's not for me. And when she sent it to me, I saw that it was gold and silver, and Jay and I had just talked like we should probably expand our portfolio with some gold and silver. So I saw that as a value, being a member to buying gold and silver. And then Pastor Sharon called a couple weeks after that and said, I need to go to work at Walmart, and my Social Security went down, my Medicare went up, and what all that means, I have no idea, but it didn't sound good. And so I told her, I said, well, that's not good. I said, let me send you something. And I really basically duplicated what Diane did. She sent me her website, take a look at this, tell me what you think. I sent Pastor Sharon my website, take a look at this, tell me what you think. She said, same thing, I'll pray about it. And I said, cool. And again, because I am faith-based, I really believe that God set this up for us to be successful, because Jesus started with 12 disciples. He trained 12 to duplicate what he did, because he saw that he could possibly do it all by himself, but he didn't want to. We could possibly do this by ourselves, but if we duplicate it, you guys, there's no end to it. So I'm helping people create something that they never dreamed of. So I love 7K medals.
Let's give it up for this and the young lady that is the major reason why we came here, because her team is blowing up all across the nation. She has several thousand people on her team and earning significant income, one of the top earners in the entire company. Let's give it up for Ms. Denard.
I'll tell you, when I saw the opportunity for 7K medals, it was just like a new corporation came to town. And we're from Libby, Montana, and our town is dying and our people are dying, and it's very high unemployment. And I took it and I ran with it, and I was like, I called my sister and I'm like, hey, let's do this. And this is something that's very doable. When Pete Barr says that about his daughter, $500 check will make a huge difference in everybody's life, even in Kalispell, even in Libby. And that's where I wanted to start. You know, for me, the silver and gold were a bonus. I wasn't looking to do this at all, but I'm like, two people, we help two people. I mean, to me, it made sense. It just clicked with me right off the bat, and we ran with it. And so I'm really, really happy you guys are all here, and we just want to start getting, turn this country around. And when Roger Ball said that his two goals are to get silver and gold, physical silver and gold in everybody's hands, and middle class back to America, this is the answer. And I believe, like Colleen said, this is God sent, and we're going to be very successful at this and help build each other up. So thank you.
You notice when they get that silver, they got a little bit different attitude, Start talking with confidence and stuff, I mean, it's just a beautiful thing, And the thing I love about it, I mean, everybody that's having success in our company, I mean, they're focusing on helping their team have success. And that's one of the many things I love about this particular company. Last but not least, and before the year is out, we'll have several people at what is called a gold associate. And as a gold, you can earn up to $7,000 on a weekly basis. Now, again, how many think that there might be a few changes in your household when $7,000 start coming up on a weekly basis? Yeah. I mean, I've seen people being in the industry now for about 13 years. I've seen people do all kind of stuff when they're part-time start exceeding their full-time. I mean, they just start doing some crazy stuff, you know. Probably one of the craziest things I ever saw, a friend of mine when my first company, when his part-time exceeded his full-time, he called into the boss one day and said, listen, man, I don't think I'm going to make it today because right now I'm having some eye problems. And he said, okay, well, what's going on? You got glaucoma? I mean, what's happening? He said, right now I'm having some eye problems and I don't think I'm going to make it today. He said, can you be a little bit more specific? He said, well, right now, I can't see myself working for you no more, you know. It's just a whole nother ballgame. When that part-time starts exceeding that full-time, and that's one of the vehicles you can have it in here at 7K Metals. So just wrapping everything up, ladies and gentlemen, when it all boils down to, for those of you that are guests today, it all boils down to just making a decision. And I think Dr. Benjamin May said it best. He said, I only have a minute, and that's only 60 seconds in it. Forced to own me, can't refuse it. I didn't seek it, nor did I choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I abuse it, give an account if I lose it. It's a tiny little minute, but an eternity is in it. Just make a decision. Here's what I know to be true, ladies and gentlemen. No decision is always a decision. Every time we share the information, there's always two types of individuals that will be a part of a meeting like this, and yes, ma'am, yes, sir, you're in the room today. Person number one said, you know, I like what I hear, but I'm not the networking type. But it does make sense that if I'm going to buy gold and silver to get it at the best price, I say, great. Get with the person that invited you out. Let's show you how simple it is to sign up. And you, my friend, can start purchasing gold and silver at our cost as early as Monday morning. All right? Person number two, you're like I was. When I found out not only could I buy the gold and silver at the best price, but I could earn income and help others do the same, this quickly became a no-brainer to me. See, being a student of the industry, here's what I know to be true. There are thousands of companies out there in the network marketing space. They all make money. They don't all necessarily make sense, and here's what I mean by that. You see, it never made sense to me to pay 3 times the price for a product or service that I could go to Walmart and get the same thing for 1/3 of the price. That never made sense to me. But it always made sense owning a tangible asset. You're talking gold and silver, real money, in your mailbox every month at the best price and earning commission. That made sense to me. So if you're here today, raise your hand if what we said so far just makes sense. All right? Now here's what we're going to do today. If you sign up today, for those that are signing up today for the $249 membership, you're going to walk out with a $125 travel discount card and your first 1-ounce silver coin. Those that sign up today for the $499, you're going to walk out with a $250 travel discount card and your first 1-ounce silver coin. But here's what I want you guys to understand. The reason why, one of the major reasons why I've been traveling across the country to do the training and everything else, to show you how to have success, because we're passionate, because we know the state of corporate America. We know the state of what's happening all across America. Because every single day now, I'm talking to people that are still in corporate America and they don't have a plan B. And here's the scenario of the people I'm talking to. That first of all, they go into places they hate. They work for folk they don't respect. They pay you just enough you don't quit. You work just hard enough that you don't get fired. You tell me that any kind of way to live. It ain't no secret. Most heart attacks take place on a Monday morning between 8 and 9 in the morning. That tells me some of y'all rather die than go back to work. It's just that bad. That's what we're passionate about. Because if you don't have a plan B in place, you are essentially what I call a volunteer victim. Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That some of these people are getting laid off. That's what caused me to wake up. I saw that happening in the chemical field, and I was making a 6-figure income. And I saw one person make a decision, and 1/4 of the people there lost their jobs in a moment's time. So here's why we're passionate about gold and silver. Because now you can do something for your family and put your family in a much better place. So that being said, we're going to break the room right now. We got about, let's come back in about 10 minutes. We're going to come back in 10 minutes, and we're going to show you, we're going to acknowledge the ones that are getting started, and we're going to go right into our training to show you how to make this thing happen with 7K Metals. Mark my words, in the next 2 years, 7K Metals is going to be a household name. Everybody, everywhere you know, they're going to be talking about this company that's allowing everyday people to have gold and silver and make money on top of it. That being said, my name is Tony Hubbard. I'm Reuben Tony's oldest son. So it's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. We'll see you back in 10 minutes, all right?